in the midst of all the wrong opinions on ISIS in the Middle East, there is, well, in some ways shocking, in some ways completely expected voice of reason on this issue. Republican Senator Rand Paul. Let's go to him.
Actually, Charlie, the issue was both bombing Assad and arming the rebels. We've been doing both at the behest of Hillary Clinton and President Obama. And so they are the weakest fighting force there. It's a mistake to arm them. Most of the arms we've given to the so-called moderate rebels have wound up in the hands of ISIS because ISIS simply takes it from them or is given them, or we mistakenly actually give it to some of the radicals. So the intervention in Syria has created a safe haven for ISIS and has made our problem much more difficult.
Yeah, the only problem with that is that it's nearly entirely true. And of course, we have Hillary Clinton now on the campaign trail, beating the war drums and saying, oh, we got to go get ISIS, we got to murder all of them, et cetera, just like the Republicans are, Republicans outside of Rand Paul and the Libertarian wing. So when Rand Paul talks about it as he did, hey, wait a minute now, when Hillary Clinton and President Obama did the intervention in Libya and did the indirect help of some rebels in Syria, that's partly what caused ISIS in the first place. He's not entirely right about that, and I supported the Libyan action, to be honest about that. But he's certainly on the right path in that our intervention in the Middle East, what he's not saying, which is the invasion of Iraq in the first place, and all of the other bombings we've done in the Middle East, has in fact led to the rise of ISIS. There is no question about that. So if you've got Rand Paul running on a let's stop messing around in the Middle East because we're getting killed and it's doing absolutely no good for us campaign, versus Hillary Clinton, let's keep doing the same stupid shit that we were doing before that you hated before campaign. If I was a betting man, and I am, and if there was a site where I could bet on politics, and there used to be, by the way, you want to talk about invincible, never lost a single political bet in my life, okay? Not one. Even one that were 4-1 against me, okay? I wish that site was still around, because right now I'd lay money on Rand Paul being the next president of the United States. Not because he's gonna be, not because you should mark it down, but because you would get great odds, and the reality is, he now stands, I think, about a 25% chance of winning the whole enchilada. Because by the time we have the 2016 election, the mess in the Middle East will be much worse. Our bombing will not have worked, and we will have unleashed even more hell and more trouble. Now, Rand Paul has covered his bases. He's not like Ron Paul. He knows when to compromise. He knows when to put out a statement that he knows is going to help him politically. Ron Paul, his father, didn't care about his political statements that helped him. He just stuck to principle no matter what. Rand Paul says, no, ISIS is horrible, and I support bombing ISIS. It's just that I would have asked for military authorization. And then he makes crucial distinctions of how he would have supported the fight against ISIS, so he can turn around and say, oh, no, I was for fighting ISIS. And when it goes wrong, he has a legitimate claim to say, see, I told you we shouldn't have been bombing ISIS in the ways that we did. That's clever and might be prescient. Watch out for Rand Paul. Or maybe don't. Maybe watch out for Hillary Clinton. All of a sudden, national politics is a little interesting. It's not absolutely clear who you should vote for.